I just want to let everybody know that in RKS there is another prize, of course. It is a RKS download if you donate $10 or more.
Now, is it a download or is it a physical copy of the game?
It looks like a disc copy.
I think it might
It
be a
looks like
physical copy.
of the game.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a thing.
Yeah. I know people really go nuts about having a physical copy of the game here, so...
I wish I had the physical copy of the game.
Well, you could get it if you donate $10.
$10, that's all it takes.
I wish I could.
I mean, you can do it right now. We'll count it.
You get somebody to do it for you.
Oh, that's true.
I'll think about it.
Alright.
There's some other good prizes that I'm interested in. We'll see.
It's fair. Got a lot of good prizes.
Will there be VODs? Somebody asked. That is absolutely yes. We will try to upload VODs as soon as the marathon's over. So stay tuned for that. If you're following us on Twitter at JRTA Marathon, we'll update you when the VODs are posted. So no need to worry if you missed a run.
Yeah.
All right, let me make sure I've got everything in place here. That looks pretty good to me.
Yo, this box is really anime. I like it.
You're welcome.
I'm glad that those of us that are running the marathon get the anime girl sidebar.
Dude, I'm so happy right now.
You all wish you were involved in the marathon.
Oh shit.
It's JRT after all. Gotta be very anime.
Mm-hmm.
Stream looks good.
Oh, hold on. I gotta change the game. Can't start yet.
Can we get VHS tapes of the runs? We'll see. I think Twin Galaxies has a few of those sitting around. Good donation total, someone said.
We try.
Who will be the one to break that chain?
I mean, maybe they can donate $1,000.
What if they don't?
That'll be good.
What if they donated like 111.11? So then it's all sevens.
I mean, yeah. But
Could be.
why be that low? Why not just go like 6-1 or 7-1-1-1-1-1-1?
You know, I'm not here to argue.
All right.
I'm just kidding. It's fine.
And we're the family argument, apparently.
Yeah. Everybody in here getting along. See, the problem is Darkman's had to put up with me for like 6 hours now at this point, so I don't blame him. I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
We have our moments.
All right. Chat, do you think the audio is okay?
How do we sound?
Yo, anime.
I think we're good.
Yo, anime.
Yeah, I'm ready to go when you guys are.
Good luck, good luck.
All right. Let me just get one verification from the chat there.
Oh man, the nerves are kicking in.
Nah, just have fun with it. You're just playing a game.
I'm gonna have such a good time.
Just playing a game.
Just playing a game.
Oh, the snowflakes.
We all sound like anime. That works for me.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
This is too anime for me.
Wow. How is that possible?
Good question.
Can we kick him from the call to anime?
I mean, you have the power golden.
Yeah, but you know me, I'm not one to fight. It's kind of anime, isn't it?
You're a lover, not a fighter.
That's right. I feel like
Everyone loves golden.
I feel like that's an anime trope.
Don't worry about Siren. He's just being super anime.
I think we all are.
Too tsundere.
Wait.
Ooh. All right. I think we are ready to go if you're ready. So go ahead and give me a countdown here, and then I'll start the timer when the game starts.
Let's go.
All right.
Go.
So we're starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, guys. So this is RKS. So RKS, or Rosenkreuzstilette, but you know that's hard to pronounce. So let's not get into that. Anyway, RKS is a Mega Man fan game. Lots and lots of references to the Mega Man series, as you might imagine. But, so just like the Mega Man games, we go through one of 8 stages that we can pick, and the first one we pick is Fordia. And there's several reasons why we picked this stage. The first reason is that there's no weapon that we get from any of the other bosses that actually would speed up this stage. So it's actually pretty fast to just dive in here and kill her with Buster, because the other thing is that Fordia does not really have a weakness. Her weakness is time stop, but as you can imagine, it's time stop, so it's very slow. So it's actually faster to just kill her with Buster. So that's why we're gonna go here and kill her with Buster. So the stage is super fast, the boss is super fast. Like, what more could you ask for a first stage in a Mega Man game? No way to speed up this stage, except for good RNG. So the boss here, Fordia, is super RNG dependent. She gives us one of 3 patterns, and a lot of times you'll see runners resetting over this first boss just because she gives you snowflakes, which is the worst pattern. But the other patterns are okay though. And looks like she's giving me some really decent RNG. Okay, so I actually got no snowflakes, which is super good RNG. It's amazing.
Very nice.
Nice pattern.
Yeah. And so you may be thinking, the stage is fast, the boss is fast. Could this be any faster? Well, it can, because the weapon you get is Freudenstachel, and lo and behold, Freudenstachel is the only weapon you can use in this game while also sliding. And if you haven't figured it out already, sliding is the fastest form of movement, so now we have the weapon that we can use while moving at top speed. So the next stage we go to here is Grola's stage, and there's a few reasons why we go to this stage. So first off, we don't actually have this boss's weakness, so it would, we would have to Buster Duel her, which is 30 seconds slower than if we had her weakness. But like Mega Man 2, or any of the Mega Man games really, some stages have secondary weapons that you can pick up from beating bosses. And so defeating Grola here actually gives us our first secondary weapon, Eins, which is the equivalent of Item 1 from Mega Man 2. And it's used very similarly. 3 platforms that you can create in midair and gain a lot of height from it, etc., etc. And we use it to bypass a lot of the vertical stages in this game, and that speeds up stages by a huge margin. So that's why we go here second, despite not having her weakness. Okay. And this stage actually probably has one of some of the hardest movement in the game, just because there's a lot of tight platforming, as well as a lot of enemies that are near ledges and such. So it gets really annoying. And another thing is, since you are Buster Dueling this boss, well, RNG also plays a role in this. So first 2 bosses straight off the bat get some nasty RNG that could potentially reset. But since this is a marathon and we're gonna go, and I'm feeling good about my RNG, so let's see if we're a winner. And so, if you notice, I'm actually oscillating between Buster and Freudenstachel. The reason for this is that Buster has a pretty long startup time, so it's longer than the boss's iframes, so we just swapped in between the 2 to attempt to try to kill her sooner. Yeah, so that's Grola.
What's really nice is that you can actually charge your Buster while using Stachel.
Yeah, it maintains charge. So here we get the boss's weapon and also Eins, which is the equivalent of Item 1 from Mega Man 2. We'll talk about the weapon that you pick up from her stage, Grolschwert, a little bit later, but for now let's focus on the Eins, and we dive straight back into the original boss weakness order. So Libya here is weak to Freudenstachel, the weapon we got from the first boss. And as you can see, this stage has a lot of ladders and a lot of climbing, so Eins plays a pretty big role here. Oh, whoops. Almost fell off there. And so, this next room here, I'm going to actually be damage boosting through these crushers. And this is actually the fastest way to get through this room, since those crushers move very slowly. And to mention, going back to the weapon from earlier, Grolschwert, we actually gain more damage from it the less HP we have. So it has more range and damage. So deboosting through these crushers actually really helps, because there's a Stomper enemy coming up, and Stomper enemies, have lots of HP, but since we have such low HP and Girl Short deals so much damage at low HP, we can kill it in 2 hits. Okay, so Libya is pretty much Toadman from Mega Man 4, and so if you just keep on attacking her, she doesn't actually do anything to you, which is also another benefit of having low HP. You don't have to worry about dying to this boss. Okay. So the weapon we pick up from Libya is Liebestrom, and as you can imagine, it's the equivalent of Rain Flush. And it serves a really similar purpose. We're going to be using it to kill enemies while scrolling them on screen with sliding, and also Mets, armored enemies. Okay, so I'm going to focus a little bit more on this stage because the platforming is a bit more intensive. So I'll have Siren explain Fast Loose Day, which is coming up in the next few rooms, or near the end of the stage.
So, as mentioned earlier in Girl stage, we got Ainz, and for this stage, Ainz helps us a lot in like platforming around. Earlier in the second room, you saw him taking a bit of a shortcut going straight up to the X in the top right corner, instead of going up around the room. Now, coming out in the last room is going to be a section where we have to ride on floating platforms to get across the room. But because we have Ainz, we can just simply place Ainz down and platform our way across. However, this is really difficult to do, and if done well, it saves 4 seconds. So.
Alright, we got Fast Loose Day, boys.
Very nice.
This is the run. That's super tough platforming. There's a blind
Easy
jump,
every time.
kind of a leap of faith. And most of the runs reset at this point because it's difficult to get that jump. And since this boss is weak to Rain Flush, we just mash Rain Flush until she dies, and it's pretty easy. Okay. So, the 2 items we get from this stage... so actually we get the other secondary weapon from this stage. So we're gonna get Loose Atom, which is pretty much like the Metal Blades from Mega Man 2, but they're not nearly as powerful. They're pretty much useless outside of boss fights. And the other thing we get is Y, which is German for 2, and surprise, it's the equivalent of Item 2 from Mega Man 2. That's a lot of 2s. Alright, so this next stage doesn't actually have a lot going on here. Zorn just happens to be the next boss in the weakness order. And as I mentioned earlier, it's hard to get to this point of the run, so this is where you really get into the Zorn.
By the way, if there's any donations, now would be a good time to read them.
Sure. We have 1 donation from myself, because I just want anime. And we have a $10.03 donation from Redshifter. It says Gralla just wants some hugs. Put this towards anime as Blasto's file name because you're just trying to impress me. I just want to remind everybody that you can donate $10 during this game, and you have a chance to win a physical version of this game, RKS. So, donate.
I didn't catch what was the file name that was donated for Blastcore?
Anime.
Anime.
Anime. Yo, anime.
Good name.
That's a good name.
So Zorn is actually a nice reference to Bomberman. And we actually get Zorn's bombs from this boss fight. Super gimmicky weapon, but...
I know earlier on in the run we said that this was a big Mega Man reference, but there's plenty of other references to other games as well. So just now we saw Bomberman. Later on we're going to be seeing Castlevania along with other games. So coming up right now, we're going into Schwer stage. And the general nature of the stage is very gimmicky. Right at the beginning, you see Hakua going left instead of right. That's because going right will pretty much lead you to a death trap. And then you see stuff like conveyor belts and such throughout the stage. Anyways, coming right now is going to be a trick called Jet Slide. Okay. So, the Jet Slide is basically a one-frame trick, and it's done by placing Jet on the same elevation as the platform you're riding to. And when this happens, you can slide off Jet straight onto the platform you're traveling to, and it'll effectively double your sliding speed.
Oh my god! Amazing.
Twice in a row.
I died the same way twice. Like, my jump input was red, or my slide input was red as a jump, so I did a short hop instead, and, you know, I jumped into a pit in the same spot twice. That's fun.
So I guess other things I can mention about the stage is that you can see there's also a Mario reference in the stage. You can see after you climb the ladder, there's plenty of coins to collect. You collect them all. You can also pick up a 1-up when doing this.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got the jet slide, but then I fell into the question mark blocks. It's kind of gimmicky because of those question mark blocks are kind of hard to tell. Like, wow, I'm dying a lot.
They're basically gaps, yeah.
Dude, the chokes.
The chokes, dude.
Classic
I was going so well,
run.
Yeah, this stage actually... Okay, yeah. This stage is, I don't know, one of the harder stages in terms of movement, and I've always had trouble with it, so I'm not actually surprised that this is happening, but it's fine. I'll recover. I'll live.
It's crazy to think about, but every little movement thing matters a lot in many aspects of this run. So here's one really big example. Another example is back in 30th stage where you're sliding on snow, because when you slide on snow, you have to actually, it gives you a slower startup, so you need to really maintain your slides. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the conveyor belts and my nerves kicking in, because the conveyor belts have like these weird like properties, but you're gonna see me get off the nice jet slide at the end here.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's a frame perfect trick, and it's super fast.
2 for 2.
Yeah. But anyway, did you explain this boss fight?
No, not yet. So,
but essentially, this boss fight, yeah, you can go ahead and explain it.
Okay, so this boss fight is Schwer. Early on in the previous one, we placed bombs down so that we can have... When we use bombs, we had to wait for it to explode. So we placed it down in the previous one to get rid of that waiting time. And then once it explodes, you can place down a bomb to chain it and maintain the damage box. And so we do that to kill Schwer quickly. Also, bomb hat.
Yeah. Priming of those bombs takes almost 2 seconds, so chaining them together is a lot faster. Okay. So we actually have the last 2 weapons of the weaknesses of the last 2 bosses, but we're gonna choose to go to Seek Day first, and the reason for that is so the weapon we get from Seek Day is Time Stop, and you're gonna see a little bit of Time Stop used in the next stage. So it speeds up the stage by a little bit, but every second helps, you know. Other than that, there's not a lot going on in the stage either, until we get to the boss. So this boss is weak to Grolschwert, the weapon we got back in the second stage of this game, and as I mentioned earlier, more damage, less HP you have. So I'm gonna be intentionally taking damage from this boss. Hold on 1 second. Okay, no, I missed. Okay, so you can actually land on Zwei there and get behind her, but I missed it. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm gonna intentionally be taking damage from this boss in order to lower my HP and deal more damage to this boss to kill her quickly. And it's also a nice manipulation to bring her into the corner.
Do have 2 donations. We did get a $10 anonymous donation with no message, thank you. And we got a $10 donation from Supreme. It says Anime Height, donation towards Waggle Cam and Trauma Center. Thank you, Supreme.
A lot of people want to win that copy of RKS.
Okay. So, Trow stage is super difficult, but it has awesome music, so people really like this stage. The water physics are super weird, so you get the elevated jump height and slow falling speed.
That jump earlier is so scary.
Yeah, but here I'm gonna use Time Stop, and you're gonna see this empty room that I'm approaching. Actually, a mini boss is supposed to spawn there, but since we Time Stop, we skip the mini boss completely, and that's the reason why we go to Seek Day first before Trow.
Yes, the reason why we want to skip that mini boss is that when a mini boss spawns, it creates an invisible wall over itself that you cannot get past until you kill the mini boss. So if you prevent the mini boss from spawning, you can just simply run through the room without stopping. And the reason why we use Time Stop so early is because once you use Time Stop, you have to wait until the entire energy bar drains out before you can switch to any other weapon. And yeah, you have to use a different weapon immediately after it, so that's when we want to use it early.
That was super risky. I don't know if you saw that. I accidentally hit a squid Those darn squids, man.
I guess we're having calamari tonight.
I practiced that a lot too. It's a bit frustrating. Like, are you squidding me? Really?
Wow.
I just
Why,
want
you
you to
don't
know
like
I died a
puns?
little inside.
I had an inkling you would say that.
Oh
Don't
my
get him-
goodness.
Don't get him started, Golden. Don't get him started. So coming up next is the separate stages. This is basically your equivalent to the Fortress stages or Wily stages in Mega Man. And from this point on, weapon management becomes very, very important because your weapon energies do not refill between the stages.
Yep.
And in the separate stages, we see that it's very gothic and Castlevania themed. Another one of those references. And you'll see that especially towards at the end of the stages. But I won't spoil it just yet.
Okay. I'm gonna be focusing a little bit because some of these jumps are a bit tight, especially with Ain's platforming.
Coming up with the boss of the stage is going to be Cross Wall. I won't tell you what references it is just yet, but it's probably notoriously known for being one of the most difficult casual fights in the game.
Good music.
Everyone say hi to Cross Wall. It's pretty much the dragon in Mega Man 2.
Imagine being chased by a wall.
Dude, the wall looks so menacing.
It's so cute.
It was actually a nice setup to kill the crosswall very quickly.
Yes,
with
casually
water.
that boss is a nightmare because you have barely any room to work with. But in a speedrun, we know what to do. We know how to set up and kill the boss pretty quickly, so it's not a big deal.
Okay. So this next stage actually doesn't have a lot going on for it either, so you could do donations here.
Don't have any donations right now, but you know, it's been a lot of popularity for the prize this block, which is a physical edition of RKS. So we've had quite a few donations for it, but you still can win if you donate $10 or more.
Have we
And we
talked
do
about
have some. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, have we talked about what JRTA is yet during this run?
I did at the start.
Ah, okay then.
Yeah, but I can do it now. So this is JRTA Marathon. We are raising money for two Japanese runners, Bicord and Ohon, to play games at AGDQ. So Bicord will be playing Gimmick, and he has another game, Wario Land 3 on waitlist. And Ohon will be playing Mega Man 6 and Castlevania 3, and he also has another game on waitlist, Mega Man 5. So we need to raise $4,500 to get them over here. We got a good start so far. We're at over $700, but we need your help to get to the goal. So please keep on donating and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
So this boss here, Poltergeist, essentially is a bunch of window shards, glass shards, or whatever. And since it's only that's the only attack that it has, it always deals boss contact damage. So don't get hit. But its pattern is static, so we just memorize it and don't take any damage anyway. But yeah, casually it can be pretty scary since you just keep taking 8 damage.
Yeah, 8 damage is one of the biggest sources of damage in the game, so it's really scary.
Alright, so you can explain the Zwei
The
coming
jet,
up in
yes.
Separate 3.
So later on, when he, right now we're starting inside the castle, but when we move outside, Hakua's going to be placing a jet at a certain elevation. This is a 2-frame trick, and once he gets it right, you can pretty much just sail through the entire top of the room. You have to jump here to manipulate some enemies, but overall it should be smooth sailing.
Okay. Not as smooth as I wanted it to be, but it's fine. 3rd try. Okay. I
Very
was too
nice.
scared, so I
Yeah,
used
that
extra
is-
shields.
The end of that is really scary.
Yeah, you're doing a jump off of a jump off of this Y onto a 1x1 block. It's pretty scary.
So I mentioned earlier, this game has a lot of Castlevania references. I think you'll see that really clearly with the boss of the stage coming right up.
The Grim Reaper. In the flesh. Or not flesh, because he's dead. Ooh. Okay.
So that was really bad RNG.
Yeah.
So the death has basically, well, his name is Raimun in this game, but he has basically 2 attacks. He can either wait for you and counterattack, or he can simply start charging to send out a giant sword at you. When he charges, he's actually shielded, so you cannot damage him during that time, and that's why we saw 2 instances that during the fight.
Do we have a second for a donation? I think this one is important. So first we have a $10 donation from Aquas. Says goes to Trip World during FF3 credits. And we have a $10 donation from Mike Kelly. Says got home just in time for the start of your run. Good luck, Phil, from me and the rest of the guys from the Pret.
Yo, thanks. Mike is actually an upperclassman of mine from high school. So super cool he came to watch.
Thank you, everyone. So this is Zeppelin 4. As you can see, Hakua is currently taking the lower route. For the task, the top route is faster, but as far as RTA goes, it's more practical to go to the bottom route.
Can we also talk about how all that was like 1x1 platforming, and
yeah,
I was super scared, and I'm surprised that I didn't die.
The Met at the beginning of that 1x1 platforming section was especially notorious, you know?
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so I'm gonna have to do a really risky backup here.
How many lives do you have? Is this Mega Man 5?
Actually, I don't know, actually. I may have picked up some, I don't know. Haven't been paying attention.
Alright.
So coming up next, the boss's stages, we're going to be using Grow Sword, and Grow Sword is a weapon that depends on your HP.
Wow.
Therefore, you want to... Okay.
I'm still alive. How many lives do I have? Oh, I don't have any.
Okay.
So as I was saying, you want to set up your HP for this fight, but at this point it looks like it's going to have to be backup strats. But yeah, Grow Sword can actually do the most amount of damage right down to 1 HP. So HP management in this stage is actually very precise. Normally at 20 HP, finding odd sources of damage in this game is kind of weird. So as it happens, contact against the cross earlier actually does 3 damage, so it's really convenient. But unfortunately, Hakua has died, so...
Yeah, I died, so my HP value isn't correct anymore, so I can't do the quick kill on this boss.
Continuing with the Castlevania references, we have Dracula here. His name is Severin, actually. And his first phase is really, really infamous for random teleports that you just simply cannot control. I think that's just 1 teleport, that's actually pretty good.
Okay.
That ain't Proto.
Yup.
And we do have a $10 donation from Chelney, who says Casnago. Thank you, Chelney.
A lot of people want in on that RKS.
I mean...
game.
Yo, anime.
Yeah.
It's anime.
Running out of time here. $10 or more gets you entered to potentially win a copy of this game.
Just a reminder that up next after RKS is going to be The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX.
So this is Iris 1.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyways, this is Iris 1, and once again, your weapon energy do not refill between these pieces of the stages. And weapon energy is still equally as important as it was before. The boss of this stage is really, really infamous for speedruns, and that's because he's very, very RNG. His weapon weakness is Rudenstacho, but the problem with Rudenstacho is that it spawns at really random heights, so you basically cannot control it, and the hitbox of the boss of the stage is very, very dim. So hitting this boss is really difficult. And the fastest you can kill this boss is in 3 cycles, but seeing a 4-cycle fight is still really good, and more typically you probably see 5 or 6 cycles.
That was unfortunate.
On the bright side, we get to hear more of the music in the stage. It's really good, as you can hear.
Always a favorite.
Do you have a favorite song in this game?
I do. My favorite song is the boss fight for the machine boss fight in Iris 3. I think it's a really good song. Also, the final song is really good.
There's too many tracks to pick from. I really like the soundtrack of this game in general.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And I didn't mention this earlier, but the spider, the stage, was a reference to the boss in Mega Man X. He comes down in a really random manner, and he comes down much faster. So, yeah, this boss is really, really notorious.
Yeah, so I game overed, so I'm doing the stage again, unfortunately.
On the bright side, you got all your weapon energy back.
What's up?
I said on the bright side, at least you got all your weapon energy back.
Yeah, that's true. Keep on messing that up. Okay.
Everything in this third room, this first long room, is on a global timer because of the yoku blocks at the end. Well, not everything, but the yoku blocks at the end are on a global timer. So, maintaining your movement in that room is very, very important. And we've been talking about this a lot, how tiny movement in this game is very, very important. And it's one of the cooler aspects of the speedrun.
But anyway, yeah. So this boss fight is all RNG, and you have to use an RNG weapon on it. And I wasn't paying attention to my health, but I should have E-tanked, but that's fine. He'll probably give me good RNG now. Okay.
4 cycles, very nice.
Yep. Okay, so this next stage has a really interesting gimmick. It's a nice reference to Gravity Man in Mega Man 5, and as you can imagine, we'll have some nice gravity gimmicks going on here.
Anytime there's a Mega Man 5 reference, it's always a bad reference.
This is actually one of my...
Oh, that's why it's really fancy.
Yeah, it is. I actually really enjoy the stage. It's really fun to play. One thing I should note is that the controls are reversed. I don't know if... I think Mega Man 5 they're reversed too, right? Or...
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so the controls are reversed as well when you're upside down. And time stop, as I mentioned earlier, is useless against bosses since it's so slow, so we just use it to help us platform through areas. And here's a nice upside down spike drop. Okay. So this next boss fight is pretty much Yellow Devil. And it's the biggest... you can actually 3-cycle this boss, and it's the biggest time save in this game, so I'm going to try to focus a little bit because this is a bit difficult, but Siren can kind of explain.
So what he's basically going to try to do is that you can get 2 hits on Devil per cycle, but the frame window to do that is pretty much like 10 frames, and what he's going to be trying to do is use a Charge Buster and then use Rain. The Devil's weakness is Rain, but sorry, it gets really nervous when watching this boss.
Yeah, I'm on the last cycle right here. So hopefully I get this double hit.
I believe.
Oh, I missed it. Too late.
Dang. So once again, the window to hit both hits is pretty much 10 frames, but that's only if you're really precise on point that. And in terms of in human hands, it's probably more like 5 frames. So getting that kill 3 times is really, really impressive.
Yeah, I don't have any more rain, so it's gonna be a 5 cycle, unfortunately. It's a shame that we could not beat the devil out of that fight. but alas, it's not meant to be.
Just want to remind everybody, you still have a few minutes to get in a last-minute donation to try to win the anime cool disc of RKS. So, just need a $10 donation.
So just now we saw a yellow level. Coming up next, another big Mega Man staple, the boss rush, which is Iris 3. Because we're visiting some bosses, we have access to weapons that we did not have before when we were fighting them through the stages, specifically Viridia and Grola. But once again, for Viridia, while we may have time stop, once again it's time stop and it's really slow, so we just continue busting her as usual. Another big reference coming up is going to be Loose Day, but I'll wait until that happens before I explain it.
Okay.
So Loose Day is basically a big Metal Man reference, and she dies to 2 hits from her own weapon. And here's Viridia again, so let's hope for no soul flakes.
All this time.
Oh, never mind.
My RNG wasn't as good. But I did get 2 hits on that cycle, so that was actually good.
Now here is Schwer. On our own stage fight, we chained a lot of bombs to kill her quickly. However, we don't have that luxury here because the boss at the end of this boss rush is also bombs. So we want to conserve our bombs. So we have to wait for all the bombs to explode. And you can only place 3 bombs down at a time, so the last one's a bit especially delayed.
Oh, wow. That was actually kind of risky.
Wow, that was really scary. So once again, Cheat Day's weaknesses grow short, and grow short deals more damage at lower HP. However, in the boss rush, losing a lot of HP is probably not the best idea.
Okay. But other than that, all these fights are pretty much the same as when we originally fought them, with a few differences. Like this one is now out of water.
This stage alone is probably one of the biggest reasons why weapon management is so important from step 1 and out, and why rooting out which weapon you feel should pick up is such a thing.
Alright. And that's how the fight is supposed to be with her weakness, but we didn't have it earlier. And you can see how much faster it is. Okay, so our last boss is Libya. It's actually nice that this boss is last because we can just hold shoot and she dies. Alright. So, the first phase of this boss... So, Iris Machine has 2 phases. And the first phase of this boss, we actually just go underneath her, and it's really free.
The entire fight is static, but because positioning, sorry, it's very important for this fight. How fast you clear the first phase can actually really affect how the second phase goes. And once again, the weakness of the second phase is bombs, and how you set up bombs is really clever. Just bring it back.
I actually got bomb 3 early.
That was nice.
I messed up phase 1, so my setup for phase 2 was really awkward, but I still managed to get phase 2 down really quickly. That's one of the more annoying things about that fight, is that phase 2 is directly related to what happened in phase 1. It's her position.
Coming up, it's the final boss in Iris 4. It's surprise, going to be Iris herself. Not much to say about the stage, it's just basically going to be riding on a dragon for most of the stage. But the boss of the stage, her weakness is charged boost atoms, and the problem with this is that you don't have enough charged boost atoms to take out all of her HP. So what we also do is that we also use Charge Buster and Stacho to fill in the remaining amount of damage. Another big issue with the fight is that Iris can pretty much teleport anywhere. So it's a very adaptive fight. We have to decide whether you want to Charge Buster her or just simply shoot a Charge Boost at him. And I'll let the fight play out.
Also, this music owns. Oops. Well, that's unfortunate. We're gonna have to be creative here. So I missed the cycle, so I don't have enough energy to kill her. Okay. So normally you don't have any water energy, but since I game over, I had water energy. So I think it's probably one of the best things you can use to hit her when she spawns in really awkward locations. But that's fully charged water, and that's RKS.
I totally didn't stop the timer either until that cutscene faded out. But
sorry, yeah, I forgot.
That's the proper timing anyway. Don't worry about it.
I got a 36-34.
Yep, sounds alright. Oh man. I think my run started off really well.
The assassin style was still very nice. Don't worry about it.
Hakua, you had a runner's choice donation. What would you like to donate to?
What have we got?
Got hand cam coming up. That needs a lot of help. We have file names like Blastozer, Link to the Past. We got streamers, Final Fantasy 3.
Oh god. So many options.
The most what's the nearest one? Is it
Hand
KSS?
cam? Yeah, KSS.
Yeah, I'll put it towards that actually. I'm super interested in that, to be honest. Alright.
Awesome.
So I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed your anime.
Thanks for having us.
Anime is cute.
Dude, anime is amazing.
Good luck with the rest of the marathon, guys.
Thank
well
you.
done, everyone.
Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us. I'm glad we were able to work out something to get
Yeah,
you running still.
super thankful about that.
Mhm.
Really glad I could get this time slot, so thank you again.
You're welcome.
No problem.
All right, have a good rest of your weekend, gentlemen.
Yeah, you too, guys.
All right, and with that, I believe it is time for me to step out as well.
Same. But before I do that, I want to read a few donations.
Go ahead and
clear the queue.
Go for that. Let's do that.
Yeah, so we had a $10 donation from John Og, who had no message. Thank you. We had $25 from Heist Eric, said, as promised, kept a track list of all the correctly pronounced words, but either I missed some or you're really bad at German. Anyway, here's just a fixed amount. Good luck on the last few stages. Thank you. And $10 for One More Thing, who said, hello, just had to contribute for the awesome job you guys are doing. This donation goes to Runner's Choice. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, and keep on donating, guys.
Keep on donating. If you can't donate with money, consider telling people about the marathon, hosting us on your Twitch page. There are other ways to help us out aside from donating, but if you can donate, we'll appreciate that too.
Yep.
And with that, we are going to do a full cast swap here in case you're getting sick of us. I believe Supreme is going to take over on restreaming, and Boar Deathly is going to step in to do the donation reading as we get ready for our next run here. Link's Awakening, I believe. Am I correct on that? Link's Awakening?
That is correct.
LADX is coming up right after this, so stay tuned, everybody. The stream's going to go down for a minute, but it'll be right back up.
All right.